dear delegates, dear speakers, dear guests, good morning. My name is Massimiliano Schiraldi. I work at Tor Vergata University of Rome, which is the second university of Rome. It's located on the southern part of the city. And now I try to do my best to serve as the chairman of this second session of the morning that we're starting with a little bit of delay. I think we will close by 1:30 p.m. But before introducing our first guest speaker, the organization had asked me to spend a couple of words on a new topic that may be of your interest. And I'll just take 5 minutes. I'll just beam some 3 slides, starting from a couple of points that I think that we all agree. The first point is that we all know that we are facing a financial crisis. And so we all know that the companies in this moment are facing a very negative economic situation. And it's not only a problem of Italy, it's not a problem of Greece, it's not only a problem for Spain or for Europe. The financial crisis started in the US, and now it is spread in Asia, to Australia to Japan. So I think that we all know what we are talking about, so I won't spend much other words on this topic. I will recall this concept later. The second point on which we all agree is that we all work on the field of logistics, and so we know the importance of logistics in the economic system. We all know that logistics has a great leverage on economic systems. So we have seen examples during the 3 days of conference of how logistics impact on our life. And if we merge these two considerations, as a result, we obtain, in my opinion, that we have all a bit of responsibility in trying to understand and to think how, with our job or operate with our competence in logistics, we can contribute to the progress of our organization, how we can contribute to the growth of our countries, because we know that logistics has such a deep impact on the business of the companies. Now the companies in Italy, for example, are facing their business is going from bad to worse because they're facing increase in raw material cost, increase in delivery times, problems of traffic, increase in cost of capital invested in stock, so inventory cost. And so these are all part of our job, so we have the possibility to act on these issues. The problem is that this financial crisis is not a little problem. It's not transitory, it's not a temporary situation, it is lasting. So the companies, for example, the Italian companies, cannot solve the situation trying to work around the problem with some patch solution. We have to do better. We have to push the companies to do better, not just doing less worse. And something that I always point out is doing better is much different from doing less worse. I always make an example. Think about I'm driving from Rome, I want to go to Milan, which is in the north part of Italy, but I take the highway in the wrong direction. So I'm driving to Naples, which is in the south part of Italy, and while I'm driving, some people stop me and say, "Hey guy, you're going in the wrong direction. You should go in the opposite direction." So how can I react? What does it mean doing less worse? Doing less worse means, okay, I'll just slow down my car. I just reduce the speed, but I'm still going in the wrong direction. So doing better means find the correct direction, find the correct path to our target. In this moment, in this specific moment, this financial situation, a lot of companies need guidelines. They don't even have the choice of going in one direction or the other direction. Imagine that companies like in the desert, with the desert storm, no signs, no point of reference, no compass. They don't know how to get out from the crisis. So I think it's our responsibility to help these companies through our competence in logistics, driving them out of the crisis. a solution. Maturity models are guidelines that support companies in assessing their process maturity. Specifically, we will see logistic process maturity, and identifying improvement roadmaps to increase their performance. This is the typical, traditional steps of a maturity scale. Forget the first level because it's just for startup. From second level in which the processes are managed to the fifth level in which the processes are optimized. So the red arrow on the left-hand side of the slide is the improvement path, and following a maturity model, companies can find a way to get out of the storm, to get out from the difficult situation, financial situation. This is just the result of what we have been working on in Tor Vergata University, in the School of Engineering, for the last 3 years. We developed a maturity model for logistics. It is published, so it's public, have been presented to the World Conference of Operation Management in Chicago in last April. So it is accessible to everybody. And this maturity model help the companies in assessing a lot of process areas in logistics. You see supplier management, procurement, inventory, warehousing, material handling, deliveries, transportation, and lead the enterprise through 263 best practices, which are tied to 53 KPIs, which are tied to the 5 levels of maturity that I've shown you in the previous slide, and 27 achievement, 46 indicators. So it's a complex model that through a series of interviews can help the company in find where the company is and where to go. So the maturity model supports the management of the companies in evaluating their maturity level on a given logistic area and process with a path of achievements to reach and to the KPI to monitor, choosing which process to concentrate on, and evaluating the opportunity of adopting certain practices so that the desired process area and the desired KPIs are influenced, in which sense. So I just took away 3 minutes for this brief introduction, just to give a piece of conversation eventually for the question session at the end of our presentation. So this is just what I wanted to tell you, just to introduce the session. Thanks for your attention. These are my references. Eventually, if you are interested, I will appreciate your feedback or your comments on this topic. Now, you will see that, for example, in the following presentation, our next speaker and the following one will present how logistics can impact on environmental issue. So a project related with green supply chain management, another project with closed loop supply chain, with waste management. And so this is a typical example of what I was saying before. Our responsibility to act on the progress of the system. These 2 presentations specifically will focus on sustainability, but it's not only a matter of ecology sustainability. It's a matter of economic sustainability, and I think that we can go further. We can move and really contribute to the growth of the system, contribute to helping the companies getting out from this crisis, because it's a steady problem, a problem which is lasting, and I think that it's important to leverage on logistic efficiency in this sense.